All right, good morning, everybody. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your partnership and your interest in Samsung's relaunch of their certified renewed flagship portfolio. Since 2009 and the launch of the first Samsung Galaxy device, Samsung's been building a fanatical customer base in North America, guys. And as many of you know, Vertex Wireless is a direct distributor for Samsung Electronics North America. So we're thrilled to have been chosen as Samsung's premier certified renewed distributor partner. So as you're going to see in just a few minutes here, Samsung's feature-packed lineup of affordable smartphones disrupts the status quo. They continue to push the boundaries of what's possible and continue to deliver innovative capabilities to improve our lives. Many of you all know me. My name is Mike Fleming. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Vertex Wireless, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to the Samsung CRN portfolio. Before we get going, I want to just cover a couple quick housekeeping items. A recorded version of this webinar will be available following. We're also going to make the presentation deck available, and this will be emailed out concluding the webinar. Feel free to share these materials with your coworkers and teams. And please also feel free to follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook for future information on Samsung CRN. Also, we love to hear your questions and comments. So there's going to be a brief Q&A concluding the webinar. Right now, I have all your microphones muted, just in effort to reduce the background noise and interference during the webinar. But I will also unmute you following the presentation so you can ask any verbal questions. Lastly, there's also a chat section on the bottom of your GoToWebinar control panel. And please feel free to use or place those questions and comments in that chat section, and we'll answer your questions throughout the webinar. Lastly, and most pleasantly, at the end of the webinar, we'll be giving away a Samsung S20 CRN device. So in just a few minutes, my colleague Jason here will be explaining how your participation on this webinar could win you that device. So please hang on to after the call and the presentation concludes, and we'll announce our winner there. So again, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome. We appreciate your attendance here. We're just getting started and appreciate you joining us for Samsung's debut of their certified renewed device portfolio. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the incredible John Curtis. Mr. Curtis is Vice President and General Manager of Samsung Electronics North America's business channel. Mr. Curtis, the stage is yours, my friend.
Mike, thank you so much, and thank you to Vertex for hosting this webinar. But also, I'm seeing a large number of attendees here, so thank you to everyone, wherever you are in the US, if it's morning or afternoon. Thank you also for giving your time to allow us to speak to you about this solution for your business and also for your customers as well. So yes, as Mike said, John Curtis, I head up Samsung's mobile B2B business unit. So that's responsible for all aspects of mobility from an enterprise perspective in the US, be that phones, be that tablets, wearables, PCs, Chromebooks, etc., and also obviously our Knox security solutions and our support solutions. Again, delighted to be here with Vertex. Vertex is a key partner for Samsung, not only for CRN, but also across all of our product lines. And we've actually seen a dramatic increase in our business just this year, even with Vertex, thanks to the focus on different solutions, etc., that we have combined, and be they government solutions, CRN, and traditional enterprise solutions as well. Appreciate all of your interest in the launch of our CRN devices, and we're really delighted to go through that. Jason's going to take you all through a learning about why CRN and why this is really important, especially in today's market for all of your customers. But please trust me and trust us that this is different. This isn't your traditional certified pre-owned. This is a fully remanufactured device in our facilities, and effectively, it's a completely rebuilt phone and rebuilt device for you to position cost effectively for all of your customers. So again, thank you very much. And Mike, thank you so much for hosting this, and back over to you.
Our absolute pleasure. Thank you, John. So now I'd like to introduce Jason Ross. Jason is a training and enablement professional here with Samsung North America. Before we get started with Jason, I believe we have a quick video here to show you guys.
Thank you, Mike, for introducing me and introducing that video. And I'm very excited to be talking to everybody today about Samsung Certified Renewed with Vertex. And as Mike mentioned at the top, at stakes today is a Galaxy S20 or 5G unlocked CRN device. And we're going to get into what CRN means in just a few moments, but I want to make sure that everyone here knows how they can participate in order to win that device. So we're going to be interactive today. We're going to be using a platform called Mentimeter that's going to allow me to ask you a few questions through this webinar and for you to be able to answer them. Now, we're going to be a little bit competitive. That's how we're going to be able to give this phone away. Please notice in the chat window, I posted a link to mentimeter.com. You can click on that and you can register yourself into the questioning portion of this webinar. You can also pull out your smartphone and you can use the QR code reader to scan the code you have on screen, or you can go to www.menti.com and type in the 8-digit code that you see on screen. That's 86379365. I'm going to give a few moments for everyone just to get a chance to get registered and logged in with Menti. I will make sure that everyone that wants to participate, wants to get into the running for this Galaxy S20 5G unlocked device, gets a chance to. So you can get in there and register right now. If you don't make it in time, don't worry, there will be time to register before the questionings start. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the what behind Samsung Certified Renewed, which that's exactly as John stated earlier. These are not refurbished devices. These are renewed devices. These are like new devices, giving the Samsung value peace of mind while being highly eco-friendly. These devices, once again, are renewed, and I'm going to take some time to contrast this with refurbished devices, which we're going to dive right into in our very next slide. So starting out with that contrast between refurbished and renewed devices. First of all Samsung CRN devices are worked on by Samsung employees at a Samsung facility. Now that's the Samsung Electronics Vietnam, or SEV facility. Now they go through an extensive 132-point check, and all CRN devices will have a new battery, new screen, and new IMEI number. Now, regardless of the previous carrier status, each of these devices are reflashed to be unlocked devices, allowing you to get that activation credit from the carrier that you are working with. This is also going to allow for simplified inventory management, as well as the reduction of carrier bloatware. These devices are also equipped with the 1-year warranty. That's the same 1-year warranty that we see on new devices and is unlike typical refurbished device warranties that are drastically shorter. Now, the brand new IMEI is going to allow these devices to be enrolled into new services, services like Knox Suite or Knox ePhoto, just to name a few. Now, once again, refurbished is a quick fix to get the device operational. In contrast, renewed through Samsung Certified Renewed is going through that 132-point checklist to make that device as good as new. On screen, you just see what that unboxing experience looks like, and you can tell that the unboxing experience is nearly identical to that of a brand new device. That includes a new USB-C cable, as well as a new SIM ejector pin. So I mentioned there's going to be a chance to win a prize, and I see 39 people are enrolled already. We have 80 attendees on the call, so I want to make that number go up as high as it can. Once again, you can click on the link that I posted earlier. I'll go ahead and post that link one more time just to make it fresh on the mind. At the top of the screen, you also see that you can go to www.menti.com and use the code 86379365. I also want to remind everybody, use your name for this portion. That's how we're going to be able to identify you for the prize that you win. So there's a predetermined kind of joke name. I think there's a hustler for an 8-ball or diamond for that diamond ring. I'm going to give you time to make sure you have your name written in there. Our number is crawling to 58. Thank you for enrolling and being a part of the portion. Once again, we're eager to give that phone away, and this to do that. I'm going to go ahead and start this quiz. In about the next 10 seconds, there are 4 questions. The fastest answers are going to, or rather the fastest accurate answers are going to get the most points. And we're going to have one winner today. That's the person at the top of the leaderboard that's going to be able to win that Galaxy S20 5G unlocked CRN device. Without any more further ado, let's get into our first question. Once again, fastest correct answers get the most points. Here we go. Who remanufactures Samsung CRN devices and where? Is it third-party partners at SEV Factory, Google at SEV Factory, Samsung at Samsung Semiconductor Plant, or Samsung at SEV Factory? Time is up. Answers are in. Correct answer and the most popular answer is Samsung at SEV Factory. Remember, these are Samsung employees working at the SEV Factory. That's in Vietnam, that are renewing these devices, putting these devices through that 1-2-point inspection, giving new glass, new battery, making sure there's new IMEI. Let's go ahead and look at the leaderboard so far. At the top of the leaderboard, we look like we have Mason, but it is close. It is a very close race. It could be anybody's game. Let's get right on into the remainder of this content. And I want to jump right into that peace of mind that we're getting with Samsung Certified Renewed. Clients and customers are getting that Samsung quality that they're all very familiar with. This will ensure a great user experience and continues the contrast between refurbished and renewed. Using Samsung Certified Renewed devices will help you win and keep the trust of your customers. These devices are coming, once again, from Samsung employees in a Samsung factory. So not only are they NOx compliant, but they're still going to be as close to as new as they can possibly get. One thing that I want to be very intentional about here is that these devices are covered by that same 1-year warranty that new devices are covered by. Now, taking a look at the eco-friendly approach that Samsung has with Certified Renewed, according to the EPA, e-waste is the fastest growing stream of municipal waste in the United States. And even though e-waste currently represents 2% of America's trash and landfills, it equals about 70% of the overall toxic waste. 2% may seem like a small amount, but honestly, globally, approximately 50 million metric tons of e-waste are disposed each year. By utilizing Samsung certified Renewed devices, we are directly cutting down on e-waste and keeping devices working and in circulation. Now, that said, let's get into our second question. And I'm going to be a little bit quicker here as we get into the second question. Remember, fastest answers, fastest, most accurate answers are going to be the highest point getters. Which of these is not a part of the Samsung certified remanufacturing process? New battery, new IMEI, new micro SD, new screen/glass. Which of these is not a part of that CRN remanufacturing process? The active word there is not. And I'm glad many of you picked up on that. That was the most popular answer. New micro SD is not a part of that Samsung certified renewed process. Many of the devices that are a part of the Samsung certified renewed process do take a micro SD, but that's not a part of the process. Remember, all CRN devices receive a new battery, new IMEI, and new screen or new glass. Let's look at that leaderboard. Where are we standing? Mason was at the top in the very beginning. It looks like Mason may still be holding down the #1 spot, but there has been some movement. It is still a very, very close match right in that top 10. Now, I want to give y'all some use cases around Samsung certified renewed, because that's what a lot of our individuals are looking for behind certified renewed. So the first use case I want to give y'all is that you have a spare device savings from full retail, rather the ability to spare device savings. Here's the value add of saving money. You might start by asking your customer if they ever pay full retail from their carrier. And if they do, you want to talk about the pain point of lost devices, stolen or damaged devices that they've got to replace. Now, if they don't have waivers to replace those devices, they're likely going to have to pay to replace those devices. So here's the good news. Customers can save up to 30 to 40% from that retail price by using CRN devices. So if they ever have to pay full retail for devices, you can provide them the solution of Samsung certified renewed. Getting into my next use case, you'll be able to help your clients and customers fill those gaps. You might have customers that are buying that need to buy from you right now, but we might be running into lead time issues on certain devices. There might be a high demand on an X series device, right? Well, these devices, they might not be ready at that same rate, at the same rate that the buyers are ready to buy. That's where Samsung certified renewed is going to step in. We can fill that short-term gap with a CRN product to make sure that we are meeting their need for devices with an affordable option. So regardless of what their needs are, if they're running into those lead times, Samsung certified renewed can help them fill that gap should they need it. Getting into my third and last use case that I want to provide for you today, we want to look at projects. Right? You might have a customer that has a project with specific parameters and they're having trouble meeting those parameters. And honestly, they don't have the carrier subsidy or the budget for that particular project, or maybe they have a particular need for that project. Maybe they need a 5G device. Maybe they need other unique specs that they're having difficulty finding. The CRN devices may be a more economical solution that will allow for you to meet their needs and not be able to meet with other devices in the market. Speaking of other devices in the market, I want to give you a look at the CRN device, or of the devices, that are available for CRN. Now, currently, there are only flagship devices at this time, and CRN is offered on an N-1 and N-2 basis for devices. I want you to take note that the S9 Plus is available in high inventory as well, but CRN devices go from the S9 Plus all the way up to the Note 20 Ultra 5G. With regard to security and maintenance releases, Samsung is still sending out updates for these devices, right? Security updates, OS refreshes, OS updates. These devices will still receive these updates through the next few years in most cases. This is going to solidify that these are fully authorized Samsung devices that will continue to be secured and protected. Now, having said that, I have our final 2 questions for our time together today, and this is going to be a decider for that CRN device, that unlocked Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. Let's get into our 3rd question. Fastest accurate answers get the most points. How long is the warranty for Samsung CRN devices? Is that 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, or 3 years? Lots of blazing fast answers came through there. We have 3 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what the most popular answer is. 1 year, and that is the correct answer. So well done. We only had a few strays. I see one person said 90, one person said 3 years. It's going to be that 1 year warranty, and that warranty, once again, is the same warranty that we see on new Samsung devices, setting certified renewed apart from refurbished devices that have drastically smaller and less than warranties. Let's take a quick peek at our leaderboard before we get into our last question. There is still some movement, it looks like. It looks like Jonathan was the fastest to answer that last question. But here we go. Question number 4, last question for all the marbles. Let's see how we fare. 4 of 4, fastest, most accurate answer. What devices are available for Samsung Certified Renewed? Galaxy A series devices, Samsung 2021 flagship lineup, Samsung flagship devices from previous years, or all Samsung mobile SKUs. 1 second left for an answer. You should be locked in. Let's see the popular answer. Samsung flagship devices from previous years was the most popular and correct answer. Remember, these are only going to be previous flagship devices. And these are devices, once again, ranging from the S9 Plus all the way up to the Note 20 Ultra 5G. Let's look and see where we landed at on our final leaderboard. If I had a drum roll, I would do it. It looks like Mason started out in first place and continued in first place. Well done, Mason. As you registered for this event, Mason, we'll be able to find your name from the registrars list. If you wouldn't mind just typing in chat, just so that we can make sure we have your accurate first name, accurate last name, and Mike will be getting in touch with you. Well done, everybody. Right? Great phone, great prize. But the main reason behind these quizzes are to make sure that we're driving this information home so that we can take it back to our clients, take it back to our customers, and be successful, especially when positioning Samsung Certified Renewed. So with regard to follow-up, I want you to please contact your Vertex representative for any demos, any pricing information, or any additional information that you may need or be looking for. You'll be able to go online to vertexwireless.com/SamsungCRN for any of that information that you're looking for. If you already know who your Vertex rep is, reach right on out to them. And if you don't, feel free to visit the website and that will direct you exactly where you need to go. Now, with that said, I want to go ahead and open up to Q&A. As Mike said earlier, he was going to allow you to unmute so that you can speak through your mic if you want to. You can also just type questions in the chat window, and we should be able to see those and answer those in real time. While we are doing Q&A, I have a post-webinar survey. This survey is just 2 quick questions. How would you score the presentation overall? How would you score the relevancy of today's content? Please take some time and just answer those while we open up for Q&A. Of course, we have Mike available for answering questions, as well as Scott Senin to answer questions as well. So we have a great list of subject matter experts should you have any questions regarding Samsung CRM.
Yes, folks, I'm going to open up the microphones right now, so we'll be able to ask verbal questions, but I see there's a few coming through already on the chat, so we'll address those verbally as well. One of the questions is, are you opening this up to any of your tablets? Scott, that's a great question. Do you have any insight into further devices other than the flagship smartphones?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, it is a great question. At least through this year, there will be no other product other than our Galaxy flagship phones. It's something that we're listening at and looking at inventory levels, and potentially could be on the roadmap for 2021. But that's something that Vertex will be able to update you as we go forward.
Excellent. Thanks, Scott. Another question we have come through the chat is, will any of these devices be available in higher memory variants?
So again, that is another great question. Today, there's no plans to change the lineup. This is what it is. But again, obviously, these devices can add memory, and that's a value add that our partner Vertex can take care of.
Absolutely. And another third question, kind of stemming in on the variety of CRN, we have a question, are there any plans to expand the CRN program to A-series devices? And I suspect this year we're going to steadfast on the flagship, but Scott, is there any plans down the road for A-series CRN?
Yeah, that is one that's being monitored closely. As I stated, nothing is going to change this year, right? So in Q4, it's going to definitely just stay our Galaxy flagship phones. As we get into Q1 or Q2 next year, that could be updated to include the A-series. We definitely listen to the voice of our customers and our partner Vertex to see where the demand is. Again, that's one of those things that Vertex will monitor on your behalf, and updates will come if it changes. But again, nothing today. This time next year, it could be a different story, though.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Another question is, the webinar will be shared, guys, so we'll send out the presentation and a recording here following the webinar. So hang tight. That'll be emailed out. Thank you. We have a question here via chat. For the new IMEI, is it newly allocated, never before assigned to another device?
Yeah, that's another great question. This is newly allocated, never before assigned to a different device. So this is brand new. So again, the device could come into the factory as a Verizon or an AT&T device. It gets flashed. Brand new IMEI is created, checked, make sure there's no issues, and that's also a great benefit for our Knox program to make sure it is as close as you can come to being a brand new device. Because that is a brand new IMEI.
And thus being a new IMEI, that's also going to open it up for future security maintenance releases as well. So that's a great question, that new IMEI assigned to it will be enrolled in future maintenance releases as well.
That is correct.
Great questions, folks. Thank you very much for those. Do we have any more?
Hey, Mike, I have a quick question. What is the plan or Hey, Mike?
Yes, we can hear you.
There you go. Yeah, you cut out. Go ahead and feel free to ask.
Sorry, my question was, what's the plan when it comes to CRN devices to add the new or the latest models, like for example, the S21? Is it a time, or is it when the S22 comes out, that's when the S21 will come to the CRN list? Just curious about that.
Yeah, that's also a great question. So in Q1, when we release our new flagship phone, you'll see that generation's N-1, so that would be the new -1 level. So the S21 family will be added to the CRN portfolio.
Got it.
So you
Okay.
can look for, you can look for the S21 devices in late Q1 of next year.
Awesome, thank you.
In regards to that new IMEI, will it fall into the same GSMA model name as the new version, or will it have some sort of different model name indicating it's a renewed product?
Yeah, so the way that we indicate our CRN product is we put in a 5 in the part number. So the part number stays the same. Normally it's an SM-G, or instead of that G, it'll be an SM5. So the base part number stays the same, but that indicator of the 5 in the beginning after the SM indicates that it is CRN model.
Okay, and that's the way you report that to GSMA?
I'll have to validate. Yeah,
okay.
Yep, that's correct. And if there's some confusion on that answer, we can follow up offline.
Okay, thanks.
I've got that noted. Thanks. We'll follow up with you.
Thank you.
Another question stemming
a new question that came in.
is the TAC consistent, the TAC consistent with the original flagship model? Scott, are you familiar with the TAC and reason if that's connected or not?
That's one we'll have to get an engineer or a follow-up on.
Excellent. I have that noted as well. We'll follow up here with you on that, the TAC question. Thank you. Excellent question, folks. Thank you very much. Any further questions? If not, I think we'll wind it down here. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for your partnership and joining this webinar. We look forward to deploying this out here with you and you continuing that partnership. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your Vertex representative. If you don't know who that is, again, hit our website, vertexwireless.com/SamsungCRN, and we'll make sure we head you in the right direction here. So again, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the partnership, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.